Yes, people, welcome back to the Red Zone. I'm AJ, and this is all your Manchester United sports, entertainment, and news updates. We're going to have a bit of a mixed show for you today, guys. We're going to give you the match reaction from the pre-season friendly against Arsenal over on the United States tour. We're going to touch on what's going on with transfers, incomings, and outgoings, and we'll also quickly touch on the sale of the club and discuss what's happening there. So let's get into it, people. United 2, Arsenal 0 over in the United States on the pre-season tour. Then we had to beat them on penalties again, and we did 5-3. So, you know, it's enjoyable, man. It's always nice to beat the Goonies, do you know what I'm saying? Pre-season, Premier League, FA Cup, whatever it is, it's always nice to beat them. And let me tell you this, don't think for a second that if they'd have beat us on that pre-season friendly and then beat us in penalties, that they wouldn't banter us, because I'm telling you now, they would. So Goonies, hold that. You got slapped up twice in one night, and it's the way we do things, do you know what I mean? But yeah, differently, the performance of the team, we saw a lot of crisp moves, a lot of passing and moving. The counter attack looked really good. Midfield looked solid. Defense looked like they're ready for the fight for the start of the season as well, so it was good, you know what I'm saying? Obviously we've got kids playing there as well, so we haven't got the full team out, the first 11 that we're going to have at the start of the season, but you can actually see what Ten Hag's trying to implement in the style of play, what he wants from the players, and it seems like the players are listening and reacting to what he wants, because it does look a lot better. Now bear in mind, obviously it's only pre-season and there's a long way to go, and certain teams might not be at 100% yet or whatever, but as long as you can see progression and that we're heading in the direction, it's always going to be a positive, do you know what I'm saying? Two great finishes as well in the game. Bruno Fernandes and Jadon Sancho, both of them took their goals really well. The latter, Sancho, we're going to have to see a lot of that this season, do you know what I'm saying? Obviously he's going into his third season. There's questions about him. There's probably questions about him from the manager as well, do you know what I'm saying? Because we all know Sancho's a great player and he's got great qualities, but it's getting that consistency from him. And obviously he's got a fight on his hands. If he's going to be on the right, he's going to be fighting with Anthony. If he's going to be on the left, you've got Rashford, Garnacho that's going to be battling with him. So it's a big season for Sancho, and I hope he can continue the form, because what we've seen so far in pre-season, he's done really well, do you know what I'm saying? Got to give a special mention as well for the game and the previous games as well that he's featured in, Kobbie Mainoo, because this youth, he looks the part, do you know what I'm saying? No over exaggeration. He's been holding down the centre midfield, and we've been looking at alternatives. Do we really need an alternative? Possibly yes, because of how young he is, and to say he would be the deputy for Casemiro, probably a lot for him, do you know what I'm saying, at the age, so you're probably gonna have to bring someone else in that they can just bounce off. But let me tell you, man, the kid's gonna be around, and he's definitely gonna be getting first team action this season. Dominated the midfield against Arsenal, kept Odegaard and Havertz quiet all game, do you know what I'm saying? What did we see from the opposition CDM? Declan Rice, 105 million, British transfer record, all this and that. It didn't do nothing. Just quiet, do you know what I'm saying? That's the problem I had with us going for Declan Rice. If you can get Declan Rice for a decent price, then all day take him. But when they're trying to quote 100 million and 120 million and this and that, he's not 120 million pound player, man. He keeps things ticking over. He's got quality about him, but he's not the be and end all of the CDM in the modern game of football. So I'm not having that. And we ain't paid a penny for Kobbie Mainoo. He's come through the ranks, so I think we've got the better deal, if you ask me. Do you know what I'm saying? Only time will tell. Obviously Declan's a good player, but 120 million, not for me. So that's 3 out of 3 so far in the pre-season friendlies, which is obviously good. Like we said, you can see the progression, where we're heading and what ETH wants. We just got to keep that going. Like I was going to say as well, the Arsenal team that played, let's not kid ourselves as well, they played near enough their full strength team for 70 minutes. And it looked to me as if Arteta just thought at the 70 minutes, you know what, I've got to change it now because we're just not doing anything, and I thought we'd get back into the game. So that's a positive, as whereas we played kids in the first half, mostly kids in the second half. But it's only pre-season, but it's always good to just get one over on them. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so next up is Wrexham in San Diego. Mad time, Wednesday morning at 3:30, is it? Yeah, 3:30 in the morning, kickoff. I'll be up watching it. I don't know about you guys, you'll have to let me know. And then the following day we've got Real Madrid, and that is at 1:30 in the morning. Playing at mad times because it's in America, innit? But obviously we'll watch the games. We'll see who plays, check out the performances, and we'll have match reactions for you after those. So that's about that for the pre-season game. If you want to let us know what you thought of the performance, because it's always good to beat Arsenal, whatever the circumstances. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Let us know what you thought of Kobbie Mainoo as well in the comments below. And now we're going to touch on the transfers, and the first thing to say is the Højlund deal. That's the main focus for United. That's the main focus for the fans at the minute. It's come out that we have agreed personal terms with the player and his representatives as well. So the only thing left to do now is to make a deal with Atalanta. Obviously, we said the other day that their manager's talking fucking reckless numbers, like between 80 and 100 million. We're kind of hearing that it's between 60 and 80. Realistically, that's euros. And I think United rumoured to want to pay around 60. But with them holding out for the 80, they're probably going to have to do a compromise, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's 65, 68 million euros or something, just to bring it to the 60 million pound mark. But they've got to get it done. Ten Hag says we're working on the striker. We need to get a striker in. The player obviously wants to come. United fan, already agreed personal terms, like we said. So we're just waiting on confirmation of that. I think Fabrizio Romano said as well we're going to go in with a concrete offer again this week. So we're just going to have to wait to see. But hopefully we can get the Højlund deal in, and he's ready for when the team comes back to the UK. Do you know what I'm saying? Next, we're going to talk about the Amrabat deal, because that's been gathering pace as well. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have to wait till the Højlund deal gets done before we can even think about Amrabat. I mean, Fiorentina are talking between 25, 35 million. I think United are obviously going to want to pay the lower end scale of that, but they're still not going to be able to do that with the amount of budget that they've got and what's been used so far, especially with the Højlund deal being in play at the same time. So it kind of depends on outgoings. Dean Henderson needs to go. That would be 30 million. That would free up funds. Obviously Alex Telles left. We're going to try and sell Bailey. Depends what's happening with Harry Maguire as well. I know Erik ten Hag says that he needs Maguire, but obviously he has to say that because Maguire's still a United player. But realistically, if someone comes in with 30 million for Maguire, you just snap their hand off and you use it for your own transfer kitty, and then we can bring in the players we want. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to quickly touch on this. It's a bit unrealistic, but obviously we've all seen what's been going on over the last couple of days with Kylian Mbappe and PSG. It looks like they're going to try and sell him this summer. Al Hilal today have put in a 300 million euro bid. Absolute madness. But obviously that's just them being reckless. He doesn't have to accept that. He can ride his contract out and go for free next year. So what you're looking at more than likely is what we've heard, that they'd be willing to listen to offers of around 100 million. That's obviously for prospective European clubs, big European teams, because they're not going to pay 200, 300 million for him, but they'll pay 100 million for with 1 year left on his contract for Mbappe. Of course you would. That'll bring Real Madrid into play. It'll bring Chelsea into play, and I want to ask the question, if should we be in play with this as well? Do you know what I'm saying? 100 million. You'd have to look on it as a major investment, but if you could get Kylian Mbappe for that, if he'd like to come to Old Trafford, then I'm pretty sure we should be at that table, at least in the conversation. I think obviously Real Madrid are clear for favourites for where he wants to go and who wants him, but we should be in with the conversation. I don't know what you think. Is it unrealistic? Should we be there? Let me know in the comments. So that's about that for the transfers, really. And we're going to quickly touch on the sale of the club. And it's not what you want to hear. Do you know what I mean? It's not what we all want to hear. There's no progression, no movement on what's happening with the sale of the club since the last how many weeks. The bids from Qatar, the bids from Ineos, they're still on the table, but they haven't been accepted yet. I'm pretty sure they're both roughly around 5.5 billion mark. But obviously with the Ineos bid, the two Glazers that want to stay will be able to keep a 20%, as whereas the Qatar bid is for 100% of the club. But there's just no movement whatsoever. We haven't heard nothing. We heard nothing from the Rain Group. We haven't had a statement from the club, from the owners. Nothing. Just bullshit again, and it's leading into scary territory. And it really are they just looking to stay? Was the sale of the club just to see what sort of investment and how much they could value the club? Are these the sort of things that they were just dipping their feet in the water trying to find out? But realistically, they just want to take a couple of billion off someone as an investment to fix up the stadium and just stay and just keep rinsing the club. I mean, Avram Glazer was at the game against Arsenal. People were trying to get answers from him, and he's just, you know what I'm saying, not answering nothing. I don't blame him, because he's just looking to get killed out there by reporters. Yeah, there were rumours that they'd actually full-on paused the sale of the club and put it on hold, but there's been nothing official about that. So it's just like they're dragging the heels, you know what I'm saying? And like we're saying now, we're talking about transfers. If the sale of the club had gone through, you got Qatar and even Ineos, I'm pretty sure they would have made quite a lot of funds available for Ten Hag to get the players in he wanted and to get them in quick. But as we know, the Glazers just care about themselves and just care about the pocket. That's why it's Glazers out until they're out. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's just the same news, guys. Hopefully we hear something soon. As soon as we do, we'll let you know. But not at the minute. So that's about that for today's video, guys. Hopefully we've touched on a few areas for you. Let me know what you thought of the video. Don't forget to drop any shout outs that you want to get out there, any comments on anything we've talked about. Drop them in the comments down below. Don't forget to give the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe, people. We're trying to get to 1,000 and we appreciate everyone we get. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell as well, so you know when we've uploaded our latest video. Also, check us out across the socials. That's at the bottom of the screen now, and the link should be in the video description. And I want to say a big thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.